I'm not. Okay, so now I'm recording. Okay, so welcome to Competitive Marketing Strategies. This is a 7-week long class. It's traditional marketing that we're going to be studying during this class. There's a lot of different activities that we will do, and I will try to pull in either articles or other things for you to read that will focus on some of the current things that are happening in marketing. This is really a traditional class to look at how organizations can evaluate what's happening internally and externally for the best competitive advantage. So welcome everybody. I know some of you, I'm glad to know some of you are new students or maybe digital arts students that I don't know really well. I just want to say that this afternoon, this meeting, it's really just going to be a short overview of some of the things that are expectations that you'll have in class or that I have, and things that you can expect when you're working through the process. I'm always available on pwigan at itu.edu, so if anybody wants to message me if you've ever have any problems, I'm usually fairly responsive. Within 24 hours, I'll get back to you. First thing I want to describe that hi Yang. First thing I want to describe is that the class, of course, is being delivered on Canvas. So if Canvas is new to you, when you go into the modules in the class, you navigate to the module area on your left side. There are Canvas resources for students. So there's resources that talk about how to navigate the system. There's how to participate in assignments. There's kind of an overview of Canvas. So there's several videos if you want to watch those, if you think that would help you. The good news is the videos are all just a couple of minutes, so they don't take too long, but they give an overview of either navigating through the system or navigating through modules and assignments. So according to Canvas, most people, even if they're not familiar with the interface, they can be fairly competent on it within about 1 week or 5 days. So I don't anticipate any problems. One thing I want you to do is to check the announcements. If you navigate to the left side of the system when you first log in, you'll be on the home page and it says welcome to Competitive Marketing Strategies. But the announcements are going to tell you to set your notifications. So notifications typically happen just within Canvas, but if you go into the document that I've given you, it'll give you some instructions. It's usually pretty straightforward. You just follow what the instructions tell you to do. And one of the key things is to have your any announcements that I send delivered to your email. So if anybody has any problems with that, let me know. But you want to be able to get the emails, notifications that I send you in your own email. Otherwise, if you don't change your notifications, everything happens within the learning management system within Canvas. So I direct you to take a look at the home page, which is basically the first page you land on when you first come into the class. It talks about what the class is about. It gives you some contact information. And I apologize if you're not in this time zone. I was not clear that our meeting was going to be Pacific time zone, but that's what we'll be doing in the future if we have any more of these meetings. The other thing is I want to alert you to the syllabus page. There's a syllabus page and it talks about the class and the textbook. I would suggest that you try to rent the textbook because not this week, but next week you're going to need some you're going to need to be able to read some of the cases that are in the back and throughout the term. Now, there also is, when you go into the modules, there's a course overview page, there's the Canvas resources, and then typically each week there will be some kind of a narrated PowerPoint or a video, short video on the class. The first video for the class is a little bit long because it's an introduction. I would say that you could get all the content that you need for the week through the things that I've posted and through the announcements that I send. If you want to watch the entire video, that's an A+ for you, but I'm not into like tricking people by putting something crazy halfway through the video that I'm going to put on a quiz. It's there for you to review it, and I have some really long videos, but I'm going to try to make the video content short. You really should be very interactive. You guys are going to get to know each other really well. You're going to have a lot of activities. And as they say, it's a rather rigorous class. So what I would suggest is that you, if possible, as soon as things are posted, which will be every Monday morning, try to go through the content and get a handle of what it is that we're going to be doing for the week. Now, another thing about online classes is that because we have condensed everything in 7 weeks that normally might happen over 3 weekends or over a longer period of time, you will need to probably try to be disciplined to check things Monday, post on Wednesday, and then follow up on Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. One of the issues of the class that I want to make you aware of is something that's called an online expectation document. So read that. It'll tell you how frequently you need to post on discussion threads. It's basically 3 different days a week. So if you decide that you're really busy, it's okay, because we always can't be, accountable to everything every single week. But if for some reason you are continually posting all your comments on a discussion thread at the end of the week, you just don't get full credit. Try not to do that all through the class, because then you miss out on interacting with students. Also, really good discussion threads usually mean that other students will ask other students questions. So be on the lookout, if it's in the directions of the discussion thread, be on the lookout for questions that other students may have asked you. I also will have discussion threads where you might want to go out and find a related article or topic to add to the discussion thread. The key thing about online classes, and I'm probably preaching to the choir because I know a lot of you guys are highly educated, have already done degrees, and you know how online classes go, but you probably need to think about spending around 10 hours a week on the class, which averages out to about an hour and a half a day. That's a lot, I know, when people are working and have family, but try to pace yourself to either do the reading or read the case study or do some research at the beginning of the week. Check in and post something in the middle of the week, and then post again Friday, Saturday. If you're posting all week long, God bless you. I love that. But I will also be checking in frequently. Most of my feedback is going to be in the individual feedback that I give you on your discussion posts, but I also will check in during the week on the discussion threads and give my 2 cents worth. What I would suggest also is that you try not to be late. Like, for instance, with a discussion thread, if you don't participate at all, I can't go back to a week and let you post comments. You get that 1 week period to do it, and then it's done. Other things, you'll have assignments like the midterm. If you're really, really late, just write me an email and let me know what's going on with you. Some people are chronic late posters or late submitters, and after a while I might get a little fed up with you and tell you that. But for the most part, when people have life problems, I'd rather have you talk to me about it, and then we can make a plan. So I want to draw your attention to a couple of different resources, and hopefully I am not completely clunky doing this, but hopefully if somebody can say, yeah, I can see that, that would be good. I want to share this document. Can anybody see this? It's how to analyze a case. Sadat, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually like the perfectionist's way to analyze a case. So what I typically find is if people briefly review this and try to adhere to some of the things in this how to analyze a case document, then you're way above the crowd. But for any case study where you're going to be posting it as part of a discussion, basically you do 3 paragraphs. A paragraph is between 5 and 7 sentences. You try to have some original idea or something that you gleaned from the assignment, and I'm usually like more clear than you want me to be. It's too much information that I give you. So this is the perfectionist way to study a case. It's a good idea because it helps you to think about some of the main things that might be what's the main problem that this case presents? A lot of times we don't find solutions if we really don't understand the problem. And you can always like analyze and figure out what your problem is and just put it in a sentence at the top of your discussion post. Then from there, take your answer through whatever else you want to present. Let me show you another thing. Okay, Sadat, can you see this one? This should be the competitive marketing plan worksheet. Okay. So this document should really be something that you do get fairly familiar with. This is the objective of the class that you will complete by the end of the class. And it's a marketing plan for a company that you and your team decide you're going to evaluate and create a marketing plan for. Now, the midterm in this class relates to your SWOT for this particular company. So you're going to be doing work for creating marketing plans and strategies through the whole term. As of next week, if you look in the class and the modules for week 2, I will have all of you separated into teams. I think we have like 26 students. So I'll try to make the teams as big as possible so you can spread the work, but it'll probably be about 5 people per team. But what you'll do is you'll go through this plan, you'll outline who's going to do what parts of this plan, and this is for your signature assignment, which is also called your final assignment. And then you'll basically put an outline together, everyone submits the same document, and you will complete that through the term to finish your final marketing plan. So if you've been in my other classes, like if you've been in the class for organizational leadership, it's a similar thing. You're going to work through the whole term with your team. And the only other thing that I want to show you is just this little document that's called Online Expectations. So if you briefly read, that's not it. If you briefly read this document, it just describes kind of what we want to have happen during the discussion threads and discussion questions. So I would suggest you try to read those. Those are all posted for the first week as resources. Other things I wanted to tell you about are just in general, try to be persistent. Stay checked in on the class and try to share things about yourself and your learning to take the tactic that I have. I have a great perspective. My viewpoint is valuable, and I'm going to contribute this on whatever open discussion forum we have. I know that if you're highly involved each week, and we talked about the hours that you might need to put in every day, at least up front, I think maybe later on when you get into a pattern or a flow, you'll realize it's not that much maybe that you need to do every single week. At the end also, you will present your final signature assignment in a paper and in a presentation, but you're not actually going to videotape it. You're just going to create the PowerPoints. If somebody wants to get wild and crazy and videotape their team, more power to you, but it's not a requirement. Most likely, I think that the more engaged that you stay in this class, you'll pass, you'll do real well, you'll find it to be rigorous and plenty of time that you need to commit to it, but I wouldn't be concerned about not being involved. It's just that if you're a person that's maybe not checked in, then you might have a problem. Does anybody want to have anybody have questions or anything they want to ask in the chat or unmute themselves? And oh, Palak, you can't see the course material on EMS?
I thought it was on Canvas, wasn't it?
Yeah, you have to go to Canvas. And if you log into EMS, it'll give you a link, Palak, to go to Canvas. We're calling it Max now, but it's the same thing. And essentially, I think what you do is you use your student email, and then that's your login, and then you use your student email and put your birth date afterwards, and that's your password. After a while, you can change that, change your password.
Okay, thank you.
As you can see, I didn't have a whole lot of stuff to discuss. Usually I'm very verbose, so this is good for you guys. I didn't have a lot of stuff to say. Any other questions from all of you important people?
So it's the same concept as you got to respond to two peers, and then give your own response and then do the assignment.
Yep, it's usually an assignment every week and a discussion thread.
But the discussion thread has three components. Like you have to give your own and then give a feedback to two peers.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. And the to-do list.
Also, there's a pre-course survey at the beginning. Our department chair watches this very closely. It's a way for us to assess what you know about the class and the concepts, and then at the end you'll take the same thing. So please fill out the pre-course survey. At the end, this is new, we're on Canvas now and it's new, so we're going to be employing a little bit different way of doing the course evaluations at the end, but we will be seeking your feedback, so I'll let you know about that later on. Anybody else have comments, questions?
Hi, this is Sonia. Yes, I have a question.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi, it's about the biographies. Do we upload them as an attachment or write them on the editor?
Thank you. You should write them on the discussion thread. You can upload them as attachments, but people will have to click on it and download it and read it. So practice putting pictures in, practice putting your content in, and the more that you share about the things that you're interested, the more people in class will find out what's interesting about you and what they have in common. But thanks for your question.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anybody else have any exciting things to ask?
Sorry, it might not be exciting. This is Farzona. I tried to arrive on time, but you know, the traffic. All right. Just wanted to know, like, the points which I missed, like I know it's very bad to miss 10 minutes out of 30 minutes.
Okay.
The points which we missed, like which I didn't catch, will it be like mentioning anywhere, like instruction which you gave like today? Will it be posted somewhere where I can go?
Oh, yes, I will. I'm recording this today and I will post it under probably the presentations for week 1.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
And, you know, if we need to do more of these during the term, we can do more of these. I haven't found a whole lot of need in this class that students really want to hear from me personally. But if you ever want to do a one-on-one meeting and you want to do a Zoom or a Google Hangout, I'm good with that. I'm here every day except Friday, but I can do it on Fridays or Saturdays if you guys need it. So,
Professor, do you make any online videos of lectures of yourself, or? I
did, but they're really long and boring. So I will post them, but sometimes they're 30 minutes long, and I don't really subscribe to that method anymore. But yes, every single chapter. Well, usually I would say they have either narrated PowerPoints, but probably 9 out of 10, I have videotapes of me, and they're links to YouTube. So okay. If you want to watch those, yes, they're going to be there.
Cool. I like your initiative. I really want to, say thank you because, we're using Canvas for the first time, and also having an online presence, having somebody to speak with us and we can see them and have a face to the class. I really appreciate that. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Sumit. That's my pleasure. It's my job. Yeah. Okay, well, I guess unless there's any further questions, I don't want to exclude anybody and I don't want to rush, but I look forward to getting to know all of you. I like that part of the class where we do the introductions at the beginning, kind of the icebreaker to find out what everybody's interested in. And I'm pretty much usually in awe of all of you. You humble me, so that's going to be fun. And unless anybody really wants to chime in, I'm going to say that I've covered what I need to cover. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. How do I cancel this?